Lisa, it's so great to talk to you. I hope you're doing well because last night was really something. It looks like you were shocked. Angela was shocked. Just how surprising was it to hear your name called?
You know what? I wear my emotions on my sleeve, as we can see. I don't even know if I want to watch how many clips of me there are of me crying in a corner. No one puts baby in a corner. Lisa will put Lisa in a corner, but no one else. But I was very blindsided and shocked by what transpired last night. And I spill the tea with Lisa in the house. I want to know the tea.
Now, as you've had time to process everything since last night, what is the biggest lingering question still in your mind as to why what happened happened?
I want to know when this started, if I was the target all along, or if it was a last minute decision. If I was the target all along, everyone did a fantastic job lying to me and working me all week long.
In your speech, you were talking about wanting to set a tone for the house in their vote, and you made it clear with Julie that that was about Angela. How did the contentious vibe between you guys begin, and where did it come to a head?
You know what? I was put on the block. I was the first person nominated on the block. I was the first woman nominated on the block, and I'm a strong woman and I'm going to get my head in the game. Honestly, I was grateful to be in that position because it switched me into gear. And, I didn't want to show my cards right away, but I was forced to show some of my hand because I was in that situation.
I know there's a lot of questions fans have about this hammock conversation that you guys had, where you talked about your association with her in the game. Can you illuminate what happened there?
You know what? From after I was nominated and took myself off the block by winning Power of Veto, yes. She tried to talk to me and align with me when she felt like she didn't have anyone in the house. So she said that she wanted to earn my trust. And I said, actions speak louder than words. So, as she was trying to align herself and build trust with me, I was playing my game and very mindful of what would work with me in the game, what would work with me as a friend. And, her actions and words did not align with who I am or how I wanted to play the game. So transparently, I was just, I went out to she asked to talk to me. And I said, if you want to talk to me, sure. And so I went out and I had a mature adult a conversation and just was transparent that and said, it doesn't align with me. And she took that, started saying mistruths, and created her vendetta from there against me.
You said action spoke louder than words. What action spoke loudest to you?
Um, how she treated everyone in the house and how she handled all of that. I think there's a boundary of how to speak to other humans and how to handle conflict and how to address certain things. So, something happens, I talk it out, resolve it, move on, let it go. And we just had very different ways of dealing with things.
Now, rewinding to the beginning of this week, you're lying about where your vote lied on week one, and you're
Yeah,
playing it like you voted with the House when you actually voted to evict Kenney.
correct.
If you could go back, how would you play that?
I wouldn't play it any different. I stand by all of the choices and decisions I made in the house. I made the best decisions for myself at the time. I never make any decision lightly. I have a business entrepreneur mindset and I see 10 steps ahead. So for me, the decision to vote for Matt, let's be very clear, I was never in an alliance with him and I was never wrapped around his finger. I am a strong, smart woman and I was playing my own game. And I voted to keep him, even though I heard the trickle down from Quinn that they had the numbers to vote for him out of the house. But for me, he would have been a number as we were playing a social game and we had some nice, genuine conversations throughout the game. And he would have been a number until I needed him gone. So that is why I voted for him at the last minute to stay. There was no other reason behind that besides that.
Now, there was a lot of suspicions about you having the upgrade power. What do you make of that?
I mean, I am just so flattered that everyone thought like I had the upgrade because I was the upgrade, but I wasn't. Shocker. I just, take it as a very flattering compliment that people thought I was a strong player. Think people thought I was really good. I mean, I am good, but wish I was still sitting there. So, it's just very flattering.
One of the biggest proponents of that theory was Tucker. It was really interesting to see your back and forth in the house. How did you feel about Tucker during your time in the house?
You know what? He kind of popped out of nowhere. He admitted to me that he was a floater, and he had a conversation where he was trying to suss out some information from me. And he was like, no one would see it coming if we were the final two, but I need you to tell me that you have the upgrade and that you voted for Matt to stay. And I stuck to my truth that I didn't vote Matt out, but we all know that was a lie. But I had to stick to that for the game. And then I don't have the upgrade, and he didn't believe me. So I don't know how to convince someone of the truth, even one of them, if they won't hear it. I'm so curious. Did he start that, or was that planted in his mind? I think here's a theory. I think maybe Leah had some part in it, because I think he had this paranoia that Mackenzie, Leah, Matt, and myself were in an alliance, and he was going to be a target to get out of the house. So I think maybe Leah talked to him at some point and maybe switched it, so she was in the favor, that maybe targeted me, that, maybe it was, oh, Lisa has it to paint her in a better light, that maybe it was coming from me, or maybe, I don't know. My mind is blown right now. There's so many theories, there's so many questions. I want so many answers the same way you guys do.
Now, I have to ask, if you were still in that house and you had gotten power and become HOH, like how would you have wanted to move through the game? Who would you have wanted to align with? Who would you have wanted to take out?
I would have loved to shake things up in the Big Brother house. I would have, as much as Kenney had one foot out the door, I would have loved to not see his face on the block. I think that was an easy put it up there, but things needed to change in the house, and I wasn't afraid to change them. So I probably would have put up Cedric, just because I hadn't discussed any game with him. I think he knows a little bit more about Big Brother than he's letting on. I probably would have voted Joseph up, just because of he only talked to me after I had the power of veto. And I think when someone converses with you is very telling of their intentions. But I will say he was very surprising, and I did build a relationship with him in the subsequent week. His going away message to me was very nice. And then I think maybe Chelsea, as much as I loved how she talked to me and things that she said, I also don't know if I was part of her plan all along and she made these moves, but I think she definitely facilitated them because she was the HOH. But what's fair in love and war kind of thing, she put me up, so I might have had to put her up as well.
You mentioned Kenney and him being a little bit like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. What do you make of that? Do you feel like he could evolve his feelings on it over time?
Yeah, coming in, he was part of my 8 that I walked into the house with. And initially my instinct was like, I would have loved to align with him. I think there's a lot to learn from him. We learn in terms of connection and community to befriend people of different ages and different backgrounds. And there's so much to learn and so much knowledge to be had from people that are different from you. And from the get-go, I knew that we were different and that he would potentially be an asset. And, he gave me that one vote, and I hope he gets his head fully in the game. Maybe it's not fully in the game, and that's part of his strategy. But, the emotions are very real and valid. So I know it's hard for him being away from his beloved family. Shout out Renee on his behalf. He loves you so much. But I hope he gets his head in the game, because I know that he can shake things up in the house, and he's watched a lot that's going on, and he's a force to be reckoned with.
Two big questions. Who do you hope wins the game, and who do you think is most poised to win the game at this point?
I would love to see Brooklyn out there. She is fierce. She is fiery. She's really smart. She's so much fun, and would love to see a strong woman, and especially a strong mama, that's given up a lot to be here. And I would love to see her in the finals. Also, Leah, girl, you have a very similar brain to the way mine works. So I'm excited to like pick her brain after this, see if we could hopefully be friends. But you know, she has my moon water, so I kind of want that back.